are now almost a full 48 hours removed from the end of Friday Night SmackDown, where we saw The Rock's ego in overdrive take Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania 40 main event away from him, with every indication he was going to challenge the Tribal Chief at the end of WrestleMania, only for The Rock to come in and take that all away from him. This has been a topic of discussion on social media for the last 2 days. Every social media outlet that there is with a WWE presence has been flooded with the "We Want Cody" hashtag that has now gone viral. WWE needs to make a change, and with everything that's going on right now, I don't really see that coming. I certainly hope there's a change coming. And a lot of people are comparing this to the Bryan Danielson situation. Coincidentally, 10 years ago, on their way into WrestleMania 30, where WWE did not listen initially to the fan base in regards to the Yes Movement and how over Bryan Danielson really was. Only then did they make the change to include him in one of the greatest, if not the greatest, WrestleMania moment of all time, crowning him as the new World Heavyweight Champion. The Rock rumors are not going to go away. The Rock and everything regarding this situation has overtaken every news outlet. What if I told you there are rumors now that The Rock could be planning to win the World Heavyweight Championship away from Roman Reigns at the end of WrestleMania? What if I told you internally the feeling is that this is all one big mistake, and that the roster feels The Rock has undermined not only what is the greatest storyline in WWE history, but its entire fan base by injecting himself into something in the worst possible way that doesn't make any sense as far as the storyline with the bloodline and Roman Reigns is concerned? We got all that news today right here on OTS. If you guys want to get more angry about the situation, strap yourselves in, grab a beverage. It's going to be a very frustrating one. This is coming directly from Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select. I want to say exactly what I said on Friday night before I went into any rant on Friday night. Nothing has been made official. Nothing. For all we know, we could get to Thursday's press conference, and this match between Roman and The Rock doesn't take place until WrestleMania 41, which in all actuality should be the destination for this match, with the priority being this year we take the title off of Roman Reigns, we crown Cody Rhodes, because not only is that the right creative decision here, nobody wants to see another 5 months of Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion. Nobody. And if you do, I mean, that goes to show you how intelligent you really are. As of right now, again, nothing is confirmed. The plan for WrestleMania is The Rock versus Roman Reigns, Night 2 main event, and Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Night 1 main event. Yeah, that's great. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah, that's fantastic. After The Rock basically put down Seth Rollins and that World Heavyweight Championship, making fun of Rollins' injury, making fun of everybody that has challenged Rollins for that belt, because all those people that challenged for Rollins' belt, Roman Reigns at one point in his run, in this reign, has beaten them. He's called it the Losers Bracket Championship. Yeah, that's great. He even said to Cody, yeah, you could go challenge Seth Rollins, man. Yeah, it's great. You could be a great number 2 in the industry. That's exactly what they want you to think in regards to that championship. Everything that Roman said about that championship is basically what we've been saying since it's been created. Sources in creative, they confirmed that as of recently, the working plan was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. It's a great 1-2 combination there. Yeah, money. Oh, man, we need to book The Rock at WrestleMania because money. Meanwhile, that WrestleMania, those WrestleMania plans didn't involve The Rock, though, right? We're talking about money. So everybody's like, oh, well, look at that WrestleMania card that was projected before the Royal Rumble. They have to now pivot because Rollins is questionable. Lesnar's not going to be there because of what happened with the Vince McMahon stuff. And CM Punk is injured as he tore his tricep. What are we exactly pivoting away from? And why is the pivot to The Rock when we can easily pivot to the rest of the roster and still give us a great WrestleMania? It was cited yesterday in the PW Insider from Mike Johnson that The Rock wanted to save WrestleMania. I said this specifically yesterday, that you take that and you kind of open it up. It's basically The Rock telling everybody, yeah, we need to save WrestleMania, but the way I interpret it is, save WrestleMania from who? You're basically telling everybody that you don't trust the rest of the roster to put on the WrestleMania that you think the company needs to put on. I don't like that. It's all about The Rock and then burying everybody else. His ego is in overdrive. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Punk's title shot was to be set up at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, or PLE. He was going to win the Chamber. I think that much everybody kind of realized was going to happen when Cody won the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar versus Dominic Mysterio was supposed to happen at the Elimination Chamber because Dominic was scheduled to eliminate Brock in the Rumble. That is, if Brock Lesnar was in the Rumble, he got removed from the Rumble, and Braun Breaker took his spot in the Royal Rumble. And then, as you guys know, Dominic eliminated Braun Breaker, and they may be going with that full-fledged plan even through the Elimination Chamber because Braun Breaker, if you saw on SmackDown, is going over to Monday Night Raw, and he may actually end up signing with Monday Night. But Lesnar was going to go from Dominic to Gunther at WrestleMania, and those were going to be the top three matches at this year's WrestleMania 40. So Lesnar was removed for the Vince stuff. Punk tore his tricep, and now WWE had to reroute their plans for WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble. He pointed up at the skybox and pointed to Roman Reigns. Then at the post-show press conference, he basically said, in so many words, he's coming for Roman Reigns. Then on Friday, he basically told Roman Reigns, I'm coming to take your championship because that's the title that my father won and had taken away from him. And I'm coming to take everything that you have, but not at WrestleMania. They had this guy point to Roman at the end of the biggest PLE outside WrestleMania all year. They had him go in front of thousands of people and proclaim that he's going to challenge Roman Reigns, only for him to then show up on Friday and reiterate that for a third time and then say, not at WrestleMania. When exactly is that going to be now? You made Cody look like a blithering fucking idiot. He professed loudly at the Royal Rumble he was coming after Roman Reigns, and there were some in the company that claimed that they heard as of that afternoon, Rumble afternoon, that Rock had agreed to face Reigns. That line stuck out to me, man, in this report. You mean to tell me that Dwayne didn't know weeks in advance of the Royal Rumble that he didn't want to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? What exactly is Dwayne doing nowadays with all of his movie failures as of late? What is he doing? Is he a busy guy? Is he too busy to be in the WWE and wrestle his cousin at WrestleMania? I know he's doing the board of directors stuff, and he's got his fucking tequila, and he's got his Zoa, right? What else is he doing? You mean to tell me this guy didn't know he wanted to do Roman and Rock at WrestleMania weeks in advance? No, it had to be on the night that Cody won the Royal Rumble. He picks up the phone and calls Nick Khan. Hey, yo, Nick, listen, man. I finally made my decision. Cody just won the Royal Rumble, right? I think I'm ready for Roman at WrestleMania. Yeah, let's make it happen. But Dwayne, we just crowned Cody as the Royal Rumble winner. We were going to go forward. No, fuck Cody, man. Yeah, listen, I'm The Rock. I'm The Rock. You do everything for The Rock, okay? I'll see you later. I'll see you on Friday. It's basically how everything transpired. This guy wins the Royal Rumble, and then you're ready to challenge Roman Reigns? That's the moment you want to say, yeah, you know what, man, I'm ready. That didn't sit well with me, man. If you want to do something this big, you should already know in advance, well in advance, that you're going to do something this big. This is not something where you make a last-minute decision on, spur-of-the-moment decision. So, he agreed that afternoon to face Roman Reigns. Fightful also heard that there was Rock head of the table WrestleMania-themed merchandise already being made for WrestleMania for that match with Roman. Head of the table merchandise, themed prototype shirts, and everything else that they want to get out already in production. That's great. It's awesome. Nobody we spoke to could make the order of operations make sense. So I don't really understand why we're getting merchandise made ahead of The Rock actually giving confirmation he's going to wrestle Roman Reigns. How does that make any sense? Why was that allowed to happen? I don't get it. Again, it doesn't make sense. Nobody could make sense of the orders of operations here, but many were hopeful that WWE and TKO would see the reaction and pivot. Many of the reactions you see online have not been pro-Rock as of this weekend. Those that we've spoken to said that The Rock had not only pushed to work the match, but some thought he was even pushing to win the match and the championship. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, holy shit, would that be the biggest abuse of power that I've ever seen in my history of doing this fucking thing for a living? The Rock could be pushing to win the match and the championship. You mean to tell me that all of the last 4 years, you want to do all of that and save it and give it all away to Dwayne Johnson because he's The Rock. He's the people's champion. He's a young, up-and-coming, new superstar breaking out on the scene. Dwayne Johnson. That's what you're saving the last 4 years for. To give everything that Roman has done. To give everything to The Rock. Everybody that Roman's beat. All those souls. Mortal Kombat style. Collected like he Shang Tsung, right? Your soul is mine. All those souls collected, given to Dwayne Johnson. If that's not the biggest colossal waste of our time, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Instead of giving it all to someone that is there full time, that is considered the face of the company, being compared to John Cena of all people, the guy that wants the job, ready for the job, willing to do the job fucking 365 days out of the year. Instead of giving it to that guy, you're going to give it to The Rock. To do what with? To peace out, go back to Hollywood and ruin another movie franchise. Sounds like the sound strategy that we should go with to me. Give me a fucking break. If that is the ending to WrestleMania, I can't wait to see the online backlash to that one. You think it's bad now? That would be the biggest colossal waste of time in the history of pro wrestling. That would be one of the biggest, that may be the biggest failure creatively in the history of pro wrestling. Nothing comes even close. I mean, we're talking about fucking Hogan-esque fucking failures. Garbage. I can't imagine. I can't imagine somebody with that big of an ego wanting to do that. Regardless of what the finish will be, multiple sources said that they viewed this as a political move that TKO believes will result in more immediate money than what would have been with Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. From where? From where? I mean, what are we talking about? Peacock subscription? What are we talking about? The company just sold Raw and the rights to Raw to Netflix for $5 billion. WrestleMania's been sold out for months now. What are you talking about? They're on track to do Bigger numbers in every single aspect and every single department without Dwayne Johnson there. I don't get it. What is he on the board for fucking 6 months? He's going to be on the board next year, isn't he? Why not just wait and do the match next year when you don't have to inject his poison into something that's already been built for the last 2 years? So you don't have to look forward to next year's WrestleMania and wonder, oh man, what's the big match going to be then? Is he going to want to inject himself into next year's WrestleMania when it's Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Roman Reigns for CM Punk? No. WrestleMania 41 needs Dwayne. I don't get it. I don't understand why you can't wait. A match of this magnitude you can't wait on. The Rock is making everybody else fucking wait. Why is it wrong if we make him wait? This guy literally came to a decision to face Roman Reigns at the fucking last minute where Cody won the Rumble. Oh no, we can't make Rock wait. Fuck out of here. If it impedes on current storylines and doesn't make sense, then why are you rushing to do it? I've always been about making creative make sense. The best creative. I built this fucking show on creative. You will hear it from me first and foremost when it doesn't make sense and when it does make sense. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all. And yes, it was a political move in every aspect. It was a political move because The Rock's ego is fucking bigger than all of the planets combined. Vince McMahon was in the news. They needed to deviate away from Vince McMahon. And clearly the McMahon family and everything the McMahon family that is built here in WWE is going to be washed away. And the Anoa'i family is going to be the most powerful family in all of WWE. Fuck the McMahons. Certainly a political move. Sources within TKO swore this wasn't done out of malice to Cody Rhodes and value him as a talent. Yeah, sure thing. But believe that those involved with the decision-making underestimated how the patience of the audience has worn thin on the situation. Why, you didn't get the fucking gist of it when Roman Reigns showed up 5 times last year to defend the title compared to the year before that? What was it, 15? Give me a fucking break. Clueless. Suits and ties. You can't tell. You can't tell. The fans are losing their patience with the fucking Roman Reigns bloodline angle. How much longer? When is it gonna be right for Roman Reigns to drop the title? Oh, we gotta wait till he breaks Hulk Hogan's record. What record? You're gonna jeopardize WrestleMania. You're gonna jeopardize all summer. You're going to jeopardize SmackDown to have a non-existent champion so we can beat Hulk Hogan's record. What record? What record? Roman Reigns would go from 4th place to 3rd place. What record? Doesn't make Roman Reigns number 1. He's still looking up at Bob Backlund and still looking up at Bruno Sammartino. I don't think breaking Hogan's record is worth all of those things. I don't. For the sake of creativity and the sake of everything else involved here, I don't think that's the right move to do. You can update your record books in other ways. We don't need to do that one. Sometimes you know when it's time for something to end. This shit should have ended a year ago. There have been some creative shakeups within WWE as of late, says Fightful. And sources on the creative team expect Rock's longtime business partner and friend and former WWE creative member, Brian Gewirtz, to factor in heavily to the Rock's creative plans moving forward. He's expected to be around from time to time physically as well. Fightful reached out to Gewirtz about his role, but were not immediately able to get comment unless it was an interview approved by WWE. TKO sources did say they valued Gewirz's skill set and that they see him in a key WWE role creatively if the situation is right and aligned between all of the parties. I don't like that move because that is a door that could be opened up, and it could lead us down a treacherous and terrible path. Brian Gerwitz comes on in because he's The Rock's guy. He writes for The Rock. He does all The Rock's creative. This could be the start if The Rock isn't pleased, because you need to understand something here, folks. The Rock is at the top of the food chain here. It goes from Ari Emanuel to The Rock. The Rock, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you are looking at Endeavor and whether they admit it or not, The Rock took Vince McMahon's seat on the board. He took and is actively sitting in Vince McMahon's seat. Where it was Ari and then Vince, now it's Ari and Dwayne. And then Dwayne, it goes to Nick. And then Nick goes to Triple H. And then Triple H and whoever the writing team is. Triple H is at the bottom of the fucking food chain here. So it goes from someone like Bruce Pritchard or the writing team, his executives, to Triple H. Triple H then answers to Nick Khan. Nick Khan then answers to Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson then answers to Ari Emanuel. This is on the WWE side of things. That's the food chain in WWE. So realistically, The Rock is Triple H's boss. Triple H has to answer to Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, and Dwayne Johnson. So if Dwayne Johnson wants something, he's going to tell Ari Emanuel, and he's going to tell Nick Khan. And do you think The Rock is going to hear fucking no from these men? He's basically Vince McMahon. Did anyone tell Vince McMahon no? The Rock is not going to hear no. As far as I'm concerned, The Rock is going to have a bunch of glorified yes men circling him all day long, appeasing him, giving him whatever he wants. That doesn't sound like something Triple H wants to be a part of. He just left that poison environment. Now he's dealing with it again. So for everybody sitting here claiming that, oh, Triple H made a terrible booking decision, this has nothing to do with Triple H. He has absolutely no say in the matter. None. Triple H wants Cody to win the fucking title and end the story. That's what he wants. He wanted it last year. Who do you think made the change last year? Vince wanted Roman to continue the run. Triple H has no say in anything here. It's all Dwayne. And wait till Triple H fucks up. Wait till they are displeased with what Triple H is doing. Wait till Dwayne wants to inject his say into things. Who do you think he's going to go and talk to? He's going to talk to Triple H. If he's unhappy with Triple H, he's already got Brian Gerwitz waiting in the wings to take that lead creative away from Paul Levesque. I don't like that move. I don't like that move at all. No, but The Rock is here to make WWE better. Sure he is. WWE is already better. I don't know how much more worse we can get from the last administration. Now we are dangerously moving towards doing the same thing as the last administration, but with a smiley new face in Dwayne Johnson. Regarding the timeline of events, we're told that Cody at least was informed as of Friday that this was the decision, and he didn't travel to SmackDown without knowing. You guys caught a glimpse of him walking in the corridor, middle of the show. He put on that fake smile, and then immediately written all over his face was, "Fuck me, man." You guys see the closing shot of him looking at The Rock, the hesitation handshake, Rock hugging him. He backs away. This man was about to fucking have his heart drop to the goddamn canvas. Heartbroken. He knew. Talent, including The Rock, had all been booked for the February 8th press conference in Las Vegas by that time, though The Rock's involvement wasn't clear. Naturally, Fightful asked if this move was done in order to take attention or publicity away from WWE, Vince McMahon, and the John Laurinaitis scandal and lawsuits that were going on. Yes, this was done to take any heat away from that. Absolutely. Sources in the know claim that The Rock was actually pushing for this before, but admitted that it couldn't have hurt the process to get any mainstream publicity that was not associated with the scandals. Yeah, conveniently, all of this happened after the fucking Wall Street Journal shit announced that Vince McMahon was basically a rapist and a sex trafficker, and then they made the move to pivot to something else that would clearly rile up the fan base and move all of the headlines away from Vince to what's happening with Rock, Cody, and Roman. Yeah, I'm sure all of this happened conveniently after the Wall Street Journal and Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis stuff. Sure thing. For those wondering, the early word is that The Rock will attempt to work a full-length match, but there's no word on if he'd be open to continuing to wrestle. No, but he wants to win the World Championship. If he wins the World Championship, we're going to go from already a major part-timer to a full-time no-timer. That's great. No, but he wants to win the championship. There were some concerns about him working a WrestleMania main event length match after his recent appearances where he appeared blown up. Yeah, I can't wait to see that go down as one of the biggest letdown matches in WWE history. For the sake of transparency, Fightful reached out to over 36 contacts within WWE across all departments. None that got back to us even played devil's advocate for the decision to run Rock vs. Roman Reigns, and the decision was universally panned from those that we spoke to. A lot of people love to play devil's advocate and take the good with the bad. Everybody in the company looked at this as bad with no good to come out of it. What does that say? I've known Dwayne for a long time, one wrestler told Fightful Anonymous. Not only did the look on Cody's face tell a story, the look on Dwayne's told a story. Yeah, a tale of two cities, one heartbroken and Dwayne, cold, heartless, and an egomaniacal maniac that doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. I think in that moment, he knew that this decision wasn't going to work out quite the way that he imagined it. He was experiencing the same thing when he and Roman were in the ring in Philadelphia last time. He was being co-signed for something that the vast majority didn't want. And this is going to be a lot worse than what that was all those years ago in 2015. Everyone that we heard back from understood the business implications of running the match. We all know the business implications of running the match. You're not going to sit here and tell me, oh, but JD, it's good for business. Listen, geek, I know the business mentality behind doing this match. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't. Sometimes things like this are greater than money. WWE has money on the brain all the time. They were going to make their money regardless this WrestleMania. Why also ruin creative at the same time? Why can't you have both? Why can't you do something creatively that is right and then make your money at the same fucking time? There is an opportunity here to get everything you want instead of 50% of what you want and shitting on your fan base while doing it. Everyone that we heard back from understood the business implications of the match, but believed it wasn't a good decision for long-term WWE business. The Rock vs. Roman Reigns made sense several years ago when we were running back Roman and Lesnar repeatedly. It could have made sense this year had Cody won the title last year. This is one of the few years it just doesn't make sense in any capacity, one former world champion told Fightful. You know how you make it make sense? Have Rock work the Elimination Chamber and lose to Roman Reigns. Then you have Cody beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and we finish the fucking story. Or Rock doesn't wrestle at WrestleMania this year, and then Cody gets Roman, beats Roman because that's the priority, end the reign, put the title on Cody, have Rock integrate himself in the match some way, somehow, stop the bloodline, stop Solo Sikoa from doing the Samoan spike, be out there, raise Cody's hand, everybody's happy. You set up the tribal chief and head of the table match at WrestleMania 41. You could still make sense of it. They could still even make sense of it now after the fucking colossal failure that was Friday Night SmackDown. I'll get to that in a second. But they could make sense of it still now. I don't understand how The Rock, has anybody thought about this as well? Has anybody thought what The Rock is actually thinking here? How is Dwayne looking at everything that happened in this bloodline story and thinking that him doing what he did on Friday after Cody already won the Royal Rumble and made basically everybody understand he was going after Roman Reigns? How does The Rock sit here after all this time with the bloodline story and think the way it should conclude is by what he did on Friday night? I mean, is that fucking tone deaf or is that fucking tone deaf? It's almost as if he wasn't watching the product at all, if he thinks what he did on Friday night is the best way to get to him and Roman Reigns. They don't need the title. Why are you making this about you and then the match and then for the title when the title of Tribal Chief, head of the table, is much more valuable to this story than the Universal Heavyweight Championship is to Roman Reigns and The Rock? I don't get it. I don't understand it. A source in creative said that many on the team were deflated, and it felt like a decision they'd hear about being made under the previous regime at the expense of helping cultivate new crossover talent. This decision was so fucking bad that people in WWE are attributing this to be as bad as a decision being made under the last administration. Here's another PSA for you guys. Triple H has nothing to do with this. Basically, what that reads to me is Dwayne Johnson is Vince McMahon's equal. Dwayne Johnson is Vince McMahon's replacement. You're basically getting Vince McMahon with the more smiley Dwayne Johnson. Good luck. WWE's going down the shithole if this continues on the path that we're seeing coming out of Friday night. Another source that had worked with The Rock was much more stern, saying, and this is a good one, The Rock eroded his trust with the comic and superhero community, with the film community, maybe the football community, and might do it with one he has almost universal goodwill with. He's not a bad guy. Don't mistake that or get me wrong. He's a great guy. However, bad timing and overexposure and fatigue will make fools of us all. You have to know when to take a back seat. Does The Rock know he needs to take a back seat? Have you seen his social media replies in the last 12 hours? Tone deaf, blind to the fact that everybody wants Cody, basically projecting that he is right, taking clips of people excited to see The Rock while ignoring all of the Cody chants and all the Cody desires that people want Cody. He's trying to dumb down all of the negativity, mostly negativity here, with the positive, and the negativity will almost certainly always outweigh the positive in this case because everybody knows this is the wrong move to make. PW Insider was told that the move was not done to politic Cody out of the main event with malice, and one top talent sent Fightful a screenshot and said, I truly believe The Rock wasn't being malicious. Not being malicious with intent and actions not having malicious repercussions aren't exclusive. I don't know. I have a very difficult time believing that one. Another longtime member of the creative team said, there have been numerous meetings, pitches, and attempts to get The Rock in on this match, or really any match, for years, and it never happened. 1 year, the excuse was the story didn't make sense. Not only does it make less sense than ever right now, it's undermining one of the biggest stories we've ever told and turning off a lot of our fans. So when you want to think The Rock is basically doing this to harm Cody Rhodes and harm WrestleMania, everybody else underneath, all of the superstars you see on TV are actively being affected as well. They cultivated this storyline for the last 3 years with great moments, great segments, tear-jerkers, emotion in every aspect. And you don't think that they're being affected? Their work needs to see a proper conclusion. They're not getting a proper conclusion with what we got on Friday night. And everything that they worked on for the last 3 years with this one simple mistake, if they go and do it at WrestleMania, will wipe away everything you've seen on television and make it irrelevant. How do you think those people feel? Meanwhile, all of the people that are complaining about this will not see anything but this. They won't think of the good. They won't look at all the great moments. They won't look at all the great segments we've seen on TV with Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn. None of that will be relevant anymore. That stings. And that fucking sucks, man, if you're one of these people. He's undermining the entire storyline and its fan base and turning off people to what we've been given over the last 3 years. How can Rocky look at that and say, you know what, man, me in this match, in this moment, makes the most sense? You would think he's a smart guy. Clearly, he's not. He's basically Vince, 40 years younger. 30 years younger. What is he, 50? Vince is 80. 30 years younger. That's all he is. A fucking 30 years younger Vince McMahon. The Rock's family passed the McMahon family in the past week as far as power in the company. And it's probably not going to change anytime soon, said one person who's worked with all parties involved numerous times. Where do we go from here? First of all, Rock and Roman, if it results in him winning the world championship, I mean, you think any of my rants previous were bad. Just wait if that's the fucking outcome of this match. My opinion stands on all this. Rock's ego, it needs to be toned down. I don't know, a lot of people are like, well, look at all the dislikes. It's a small vocal minority. I mean, nearly 600,000 people is not a fucking vocal minority anymore. It's not. It's the most disliked video in WWE YouTube history. It's not a vocal minority anymore. That's six. That's basically 6 AT&T stadiums. What, are you serious? As far as I'm concerned, Endeavor needs to do something here. Will they? This is a test. This is the ultimate test for the new leadership in WWE. Are they all about themselves like the previous administration? Or are they actually people out there in this company that give a shit about what we, the fans, want to see? I get it. It's a business. I get it. You want to make the most money possible. I get it. You need The Rock. You want to get The Rock. If you got him, you got to use him. Fine. I don't like the fact that we got to bend over backwards to give Rocky what he wants. He's made us wait 4 years for this shit and then still teased. Well, yeah, I'll play in the long game. The long game doesn't end in fucking 8 weeks. It doesn't. Give me a break. Why do we have to wait for The Rock, but The Rock needs to be there right now? He's got to be there right now. Why can't The Rock wait for us? Why? Cody finishes the story. We do this match at next year's WrestleMania. Nobody's ever said that they don't want to see the match. Nobody's ever said that they don't want to see it at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41 is the perfect stage for it. Yeah, Rock would be older. Rock is going to be, maybe less in the know or in the WWE light at that point. But if you want to do it, you're going to make time to fucking do it. That's what I don't get. You want it bad enough. You move everything else aside to do that match and end your fucking career. I don't get that narrative. If he wants to do it, you make that the one thing in your life, in that moment, that you're going to make happen. WWE, Endeavor, The Rock, Roman, they need to do something to fix this and rectify this. If this goes off on Thursday and they announce this match on Thursday in Vegas for WrestleMania this year, WrestleMania has a huge, unfortunate aura about it where the fans are going to sabotage the show. You think anytime people are going to hear The Rock's theme music, they're going to give the People's Champion the reaction that you think he gets normally? You think that the fans are going to remain quiet about this one? I don't. How do we fix this? Is this even an opportunity? Is there even an opportunity to fix this? Yeah, there is. There is. The one thing that I did not want, I think we now have to kind of sit down and say is a real possibility now. Rock and Roman, night one, main event. People are going to complain about that. Oh, a match like that needs to take place on night two. Rock is not the priority here. He's not. Doesn't make sense if Cody beats Roman and then Roman goes and wrestles The Rock. You want to get the best of both worlds. Make it a title match. Make it about the head of the table. Roman wins. When is the next time we're ever going to get a match that big to main event night one of WrestleMania? Just like we all said, well, why don't they do it at the Chamber? They have the fortunate circumstance to do it at the Chamber this year in front of 60,000 people. Why not do it at WrestleMania on night one? It's still the WrestleMania main event. You got night two of WrestleMania, right? They've been doing this 1 and 2 day WrestleMania format. Why not use this to your advantage? I don't see it going away anytime soon. WWE makes more money than ever before for WrestleMania under the 2-night format. So why not use it to your advantage? Now we have to start talking about a possible 2-night mega main event. Cody can go on TV every single week and say, you know what, I think I made a mistake. He seeks guidance from other people. Bring some people from his past into his storyline and have them say, Cody, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you bending over backwards for this? Cody, at the end of all this, rescinds his agreement to The Rock. Hey, I don't want to not do this. I want to do it at WrestleMania. It's not who I am. It's not what I truly believe. I want to beat him at WrestleMania. I don't care if it's you, if it's him, or if it's anybody. I got to do it at WrestleMania. It needs to happen. So then we set up a situation where Rock and Roman wrestle on night one. Roman wins. He takes all of that he's built. Now he's beating The Rock to drop it to Cody on night two. How do you think that's going to make Cody look if he beats Roman Reigns after him beating The Rock on night one? How do you think that's going to make him look? He ends The Rock, he ends the Tribal Chief, he wins the title, and the show goes off the air with Cody Rhodes. Rock has said that's the long game, right? Rock says he wants to do something that's never been done before. I don't think we've had the magnitude of a mega main event, double main event at WrestleMania like we've seen here with this, potentially. That's the only way out of this. Cody and Rollins is not going to work for me. It's not going to work for you either. Rock and Roman in night two of WrestleMania's main event, not going to work. Because it doesn't need the title. It doesn't. It's not about the title. Roman should be going over The Rock anyway. There's no instance in this thing where Rock beats Roman at all, ever. So put the title on the line, give the fucking match head of the table status, have Roman win, and then have him lose to Cody. The end of the Roman Empire, WrestleMania. Done. You get the match out of the way. We don't got to talk about it ever again. You give Cody what he wants. The Rock and Roman get what they want. We move on to WrestleMania 42 next year. We start booking Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Done. I don't know why we need all of this confusion because Rock needs to interject himself and make his ego bigger than WrestleMania and bigger than Cody Rhodes. This is not going to go away. Endeavor needs to do something before Thursday. Rock needs to do something before Thursday. The Rock needs to sit down and read all of this happening on social media and say to himself, hey man, I think I messed up. I got to fix this. The Rock wants this bad public image. Just like the quote said in this report from Fightful, he's losing faith from the one fan base that admires him most. He takes this to WrestleMania. No one's going to want to see The Rock again in any capacity in WWE. And he will only be remembered for taking something away from the more deserving Cody Rhodes, who the fans want after 2 years of completing his story. This is not going to go away, and Endeavor needs to do something fast to rectify this problem. Guys, let me know what you think of all this. I needed to get this out today. We're going to keep on top of this as best we can. If you enjoyed today's upload, please let me know down below with a comment. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We just hit 153,000 subscribers. We are already, believe it or not, on our way to 154. If you guys enjoyed this content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell them to subscribe. Make sure you guys go check out all of the other great content on the channel. We will be back tomorrow with more Off the Script. I'll be live during Monday Night Raw. We will be back at it again with a brand new week. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 2,000 likes on today's video. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We want Cody. I'm sure you guys do as well. I'll see you later.